In a small town near Guntur, Andhra Pradesh, lived a young man named Arjun. Now, Arjun's story doesn't start with comfort or privilege. His father was a daily wage laborer, earning just enough to get by. His mother worked as a housemaid, cleaning other people's homes to keep their own afloat. Every single month was a battle against rent that was always due, a battle against school fees that seemed to climb higher, and sometimes a gut-wrenching battle against hunger itself. But amidst all this struggle, Arjun carried a secret, a spark, a dream. He wanted to become a software engineer. When he shared this dream, people laughed. You could hear the whispers, the snickers. A software engineer? From this family? They'd say. Forget about dreams, worry about your next meal. The world saw his circumstances and told him to lower his gaze. But Arjun held on to one powerful belief, a mantra that would guide him through the darkest nights. My situation is temporary, my dream is permanent. He was a bright student, always at the top of his class. He sailed through his school days with determination. But just after he finished his 10th class, life threw its biggest punch yet. His father, the family's primary breadwinner, met with a severe accident. Suddenly, the already meager income stopped. There were no savings to fall back on, only a mountain of loans and medical bills. Arjun stood at a crossroads. He had two choices. One, drop out of school, find a job, and support his family. It was the sensible, expected path. Two, continue his studies and fight. Fight against poverty, against exhaustion, against all odds. He chose the harder path. He secured an education loan and enrolled in an engineering college. This decision wasn't just about attending classes, it was a declaration of war against his circumstances. His college life was nothing like his peers. During the day, from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m., he was a student, soaking up every bit of knowledge he could. But when the sun went down, his second life began. From 10 p.m. to 6 a.m., he worked as a night watchman at a small apartment building. Sleep became a luxury he couldn't afford, reduced to just 3 or 4 broken hours a day. While his friends were enjoying college festivals, late-night movies, and carefree days, Arjun was guarding empty buildings, his mind oscillating between engineering concepts and the sounds of the silent night. The weight of his two lives was immense, a constant crushing pressure. One night, the pressure reached its breaking point. A heavy rain was lashing down, turning the night cold and miserable. Arjun stood under his flimsy umbrella, shivering, his clothes damp, fighting to stay awake. A car pulled up and a resident rolled down the window, not to offer a kind word, but to shout, "Hey, you are paid to stand outside and stay awake, not to doze off." Those words hit him harder than the cold rain. He felt a profound sense of humiliation, of being invisible, of being less than human. That night he walked back to his tiny rented room, sat on the cold floor, and for the first time he broke. The dam of resilience he had built so carefully burst open, and he cried. He cried for his lost youth, for his aching body, for the seemingly endless struggle. He picked up his phone and called his mother. Through his sobs, he whispered, "Amma, I can't do this anymore. I think I have to quit." There was a pause on the other end of the line. Then his mother's voice, soft but steady, came through. "Arjun, remember this. This pain you are feeling, it will leave, but the pride you will feel when you succeed, that will stay with you forever." That one line from his mother was like a lighthouse in his storm. It didn't just comfort him, it reignited the fire within him. He wiped his tears. The self-pity was gone, replaced by a new steely resolve. He realized that night that getting good marks in exams wasn't going to change his life. Skills would, real practical skills. From that day on, a new Arjun was born. He didn't have money for expensive coaching classes or paid online courses, so he turned to the greatest free university in the world, YouTube. He didn't even have a laptop at first. He would stay back late in the college computer labs long after everyone else had left, practicing code, building small projects, devouring tutorials. His nights as a night watchman transformed too. He would plug in his cheap earphones and listen to programming podcasts, his mind a world away from the silent street he was guarding. While others his age were scrolling through social media, Arjun was writing lines of code in a small notebook, solving problems in his mind. Slowly but surely, he wasn't just learning to code, he was becoming a programmer. His confidence, once shattered, began to grow with every function he wrote, every bug he fixed. Then came the final year of college, the season of campus placements. This was it, the moment he had been fighting for. Big companies with big names and bigger dreams arrived on campus. But as Arjun looked at his resume, a wave of anxiety washed over him. It looked weak. His marks were average, a consequence of his exhausting double life. He had no fancy internships, no influential references. His first interview was a disaster. He fumbled, he got nervous, he failed. In the second interview, he was rejected again. The rejection stung. One by one, he saw his friends celebrating their job offers. They were getting placed. Their futures were being secured. And Arjun? He was still waiting, still fighting. Finally, he sat in front of an experienced interviewer. The man looked at his resume, his brow furrowed. "Your marks aren't strong," he said bluntly. "You have no internship experience. Tell me, why should we hire you?" Arjun took a deep breath. He didn't make excuses, he didn't talk about his struggles. He looked the interviewer in the eye and said calmly, "Sir, I may not be the best student on paper, but I promise you, I will be the hardest worker you will ever find. My life has taught me to solve problems not just in code, but in reality." The interviewer was intrigued. He decided to test him. He gave him a complex practical problem. Arjun took the challenge. He thought through the logic, his fingers flying across the keyboard. He wrote clean, efficient code. He explained his approach clearly. The interviewer watched, impressed by his practical thinking and his raw determination. That day, Arjun got the job. The boy who was told to forget his dreams had finally caught one. Today, Arjun works as a successful software engineer in Bengaluru. And his first salary? He didn't buy a fancy new phone, he didn't splurge on branded clothes or a party. The first thing he did was pay the EMI for his education loan. The second thing he did was buy his mother a brand new washing machine so she would never have to strain her back washing clothes by hand again. When someone asked him recently, "Arjun, don't you feel you missed out? You never got to enjoy your youth." He just smiled and said something profound. "I sacrificed my comfort so my future could breathe." So if you are watching this video right now and a voice in your head is telling you, "I am too poor, I have no support, or my life is just unfair," I want you to remember Arjun's story. Remember this powerful truth. Your background does not decide your future. Your discipline does. The pain you feel is temporary. The hard work you put in is silent. But believe me, the success that follows will be loud. Don't you dare quit. Your story is still being written. Go write a masterpiece. Thanks for watching. If this story inspired you, please like, share and subscribe for more.